Branding is a big topic, and I think it draws to mind sort of a lot of different ideas, and it's websites and company names and social media and how you position yourself. And are you an independent freelance consultant or are you a business? How are you trying to really brand yourself? And that's what it's all about. And so, what I'll say up front is that people waste a lot of time on things like LLC versus S corp versus incorporating versus what should your company name be, what should your brand look like, as far as like a logo goes. There's a lot of time wasted, and that is a huge barrier for people up front, where they'll spend more time figuring out what their logo is going to look like and more time figuring out what their company name is going to be than they do strategizing around how to land their first client. And it's amazing to see some of the time commitment there. But I think the first thing I'll say is that for me personally, I never had a website. I still don't have a website. And that's because social media is such a massive way to get your brand out there. And it doesn't mean that's right for everyone. Actually, I think it's probably wrong. I would advise everyone to at least get a basic website up. But you have to have content to go on a website. And once again, it's a huge barrier to entry if you're saying, hey, I'm not going to reach out to any clients yet because I want to get my website in place. And then you think,
Yeah.
hey, I'll just go buy a domain name and I'll throw a couple tabs up. And it doesn't work that way. Even your about page can be a half day event. If I had advice for anyone on it's day one, you're not even sure you want to be a freelancer yet, but you're on the fence. You have the capabilities to do Salesforce freelancing, and you're saying, I'm going to start branding today. Brad, what can I do? Like, what would you recommend? And if I could go back in time to the day that I started with my company and looking to build my brand, I would say this is what I would do before anything else. I would get a website domain, whatever your company name is going to be. Figure out your company name, get a website domain that aligns with that particular name. The second thing I would do is just get a simple website, whether it's through WordPress or even if you use something like Squarespace, just get a simple website spun up. Doesn't have to be public yet, but just get it spun up so we can start adding content to that. And then I think the question becomes, where does the content come from? And how am I going to do actual content for my website? And what is it? And it's typically going to be videos demonstrating your value. That could be videos of you actually working in Salesforce, demoing a project. That could be you writing up a blog article about a specific topic that showcases your expertise. Anything like that that really brings value to who you are. Well, where people make a lot of mistakes is they work in a silo and they write a blog article and they put it on their blog. And that's it. And they leave it right there. They might share a link to it on social media, or they create a video and they put it on YouTube and it sits out there on their YouTube channel and they hope somebody watches it. And typically it's hard to, get a lot of traction in these areas. So what I do is anytime I'm creating content, there's always got to be a multiplier effect to it. And if I could have done that early on, it would have been amazing. So what you can do is you can think, if I have to write a LinkedIn post 3 or 4 times a week in order to generate engagement around me, that can be time consuming. But what if you took a LinkedIn post around a really engaging topic and you noticed that you got good feedback and good engagement around it, and then you decided to take that LinkedIn post and run with it and create an entire article based on that LinkedIn post. And then you can take that article and you can put it on LinkedIn articles. And then you can take that exact same article and put it on your own blog. And then if you're getting engagement around it, you can make a video about that topic. And then you can link up your video in your blog and your LinkedIn post. And now with a very simple, start with a LinkedIn post, see if people are going to like it. They like it. Now you've got traction around the next time you post on that topic. You can say, hey, last time I posted on this, these were my thoughts. This is what I'm thinking now. Here's a link to an article that I wrote about this, complete concept if you're interested in learning more. And here's a video I put on YouTube showing even more content around this particular topic. And now you have an absolute sort of body of content around a single topic, and you can add to that and you can change it over time. And that's what's going to build your LinkedIn branding, your website, your YouTube channels, and all of that branding that goes around who you are as a company and an independent consultant, and you're taking one LinkedIn post and making it something much bigger. And I know that can sound like a lot up front, but if you do that 5, 10, 15 times, just do it once a week. And at the end of the year, you're going to have 50 amazing pieces of content that really showcase who you are. And I'll say the other thing, a big piece of your success as a company long term. Up front, this may not help you a lot, but it's something you just mentioned, and that is your funnel. And if you're a Salesforce expert, you know about funnels, and you know that there are pipelines of sales and how many opportunities and what stage they're in and all those things. And you have to build that for yourself. Now, it doesn't have to be nearly as complex as actual opportunity records with different data captured. It can be as simple as an email address. And if you've worked in the marketing automation space at all, you know that those email addresses convert to leads and those convert over to paying customers. And that's the whole purpose of your funnel. And what you can start with is a simple tool like MailChimp or ActiveCampaign or ConvertKit. You pretty much choose your tool. And all you really need is something free and something valuable. And valuable can mean a lot of different things. Valuable can mean that it helps someone better understand a concept, or it can just be something that someone gets a little bit of a laugh out of or enjoyment out of. So you don't have to put too much pressure on yourself. Like I have my funnel, which is my 5-day challenge for people trying to get Salesforce jobs, but that's sort of my lead magnet. And that's what pulls people in to give me their email address, right? But I'm providing them with something back. And that's what you can do. It's a very typical strategy for getting email addresses, but you want it to target the people you're interested in. So you need to think about who your target audience is. Is it customers who use CPQ? Well, maybe you can create a quick ebook or PDF slick that are the top 5 tips for Salesforce customers that use CPQ and the biggest mistakes they could be making. And that is a totally off-cuff idea. You create that, you capture email addresses. Guess what? Now you're getting email addresses based on people who use CPQ. They work at companies that use CPQ. They're interested in it. And you create email funnels that allow you to reach out to those individuals and provide them with quality information about why you're a great consultant in this space. Yeah, and I'll say another big issue that I see is don't be lazy, and that's much easier said than done. I think a lot of people, lazy is sort of a gray area, and it's like, well, what do I owe anyone? Like, what am I obligated to? What am I responsible for? And in the sales arena, like when you're trying to land clients, it's all up to you. There's nobody coming behind you making sure you did 40 hours this week. There's nobody making sure you checked off your task list. It's 100% up to you. And when you're early on, you may not see tangible results. It may be, I'm getting a few more, likes on my post. I'm getting a few more comments. I got a couple of connection requests, a few more personal messages. And that's your tangible result. But you may do a post this week and get 100 likes, and you may do a post next week and get 3. And it's all just about the time of day, the mood people were in, how much, any social media platform happens to promote that particular post. And you just have to be consistent. But what I will say is I've seen professionals, specifically in the Salesforce space, who are trying to make sales and they're trying to get these clients, and they don't respond to messages, or they don't respond timely because they don't see where it's going. And they think, this doesn't look like a good fit, so I'm just not going to respond. And they get sidetracked, or they do silly things like they're sitting at a red light and they check their messages and they go, oh, look, it's a message from this person. Oh, the light's green, and they close their phone and they forget to respond. And it's like, you need to set aside time for these activities. You need to set aside time for your personal messaging, because guess what? If you are not responding to messages when someone is a prospect, they are not going to want to work with you, because it shows your availability. It shows your support level.
It's a perception.
It's that perception again. And if you're not going to support them when they're not paying you, chances are you're not going to support them later either. So you have to show people the level of support you give and the level of communication you offer. And that's showcasing your value, and that's creating that perception. So that they were saying, I'm writing these posts about my product. I'm trying to bring people over to my product. Whatever it doesn't have to be a post, any kind of outreach. I'm doing outreach about my product. That could be ads, that could be posts, that could be articles, that could be videos. I'm doing outreach for my product, but people aren't buying my product. Interesting. So the conclusion that they came to off cuff was, well, the more people who view my product offering, the more customers I'm going to get. Okay, I can go with that logic to a degree. There's a lot more that goes into it than that, but they weren't having success by doing videos and articles and posting. So the solution was to do twice as many videos, articles, and posts to double the number of views. And to me, that was the definition of insanity. It was, let's just try more of the same. Let's put a multiplier effect on all the same stuff that's not working, and it should work now. And I could think of 5 things off cuff that could also be the problem. It could be the way you're showcasing the product's value is not valuable. You are not communicating the value properly. Whatever you're doing, your freebie is not enough to make them want to sign up. Your product itself maybe is priced too high, or maybe the price is right, but you're just not telling people how the price is right. So that leads me to this thought. So I had a totally different person say, hey, Brad, I've got my course. I've got it all put together. I'm ready to go. And I actually made a goal to make $10,000 a month with this product. And I said, that's not a goal. And he's like, what do you mean that's not a goal? Of course it's a goal. I said, well, that's not a goal that's going to get you anywhere. That's not how you actually get to that. That's an end result. That's an ancillary effect of doing something. Like the money you make by being a Salesforce freelancer or anything else is an ancillary effect. It's an external effect of the fact that you did good work. So you found a client and you did good work, therefore they paid you, but you can't say, I want to make $10,000 because that's not, there are a lot of things that come before that. So what I told this person was, this is what I would recommend. Your goal needs to be, I want to incredibly help, unbelievably help 5 customers. I want 5 customers that will shout my name from the rooftops. And you can hand select them, and you can do free work, and you can give your course away for free. Anything you want to do, but you got to get, and it doesn't have to be 5, pick a number. It could be 3, it could be 2. Set a goal for yourself. I am going to serve to an unbelievable value prospect 2 or 3 customers, and they are not going to believe what they got for the money. And for that reason, they're going to want to share what I have. You know what else they're going to do? They're going to write you letters of recommendation. They're going to write you references. They will make testimonial videos for you. They will sit down and do interviews with you where they just talk about how great your product is. If you reach out and say, hey, will you do a post on your social media for my program? Will you hop on a call with a potential customer of mine to tell them what great work I do? Now you've got something. Now you have something to showcase your value. Now you can land clients. Now you can make $10,000 a month, but you have to do the first thing first. And again, it all comes back to proving the value of whatever it is you're selling. And the best way to do that is to first unbelievably serve 2 or 3 people that will vouch for you for the rest of eternity.
I mean, I think this may be a good place to kind of rest this one on.
Yeah, we covered a lot.
Yeah, we did. Anything that you want to close on, or?
Yeah, I would just say that everything we've talked about, if you're taking notes, if you're making a list of what your action items are because of this, it all comes back to branding, and it all comes back to how you're going to be able to brand yourself and showcase your value. And I think you'll find that no matter how sideways you think the conversation went down different avenues of things you could do to build your business, you're going to find that everything we talked about today is an incredible way to build your brand, to update your website, to make posts on LinkedIn, to make videos on YouTube, to showcase your value. And that's what it all comes back to, building an incredible brand that people want to get behind.